The night falls on the African lands. The old white lion has to find a place to spend the night. As he is walking through the grassland, approaching the rocky lands, he hears growls coming from a huge cave. Intrigued, Linus followed the sound and entered the cave. In the cave, Ekuba and Sultan are arguing. Sultan wants to get out and to find help, while Ekuba wants to stay safe in the cave, claiming it's safer. The other cubs try to calm them down, but the two cubs keep arguing at least till Moyo, the lazy boy, yells. The arguments woke him up, and he hates being woken up. When the hybrid cub is done yelling, the 7 beggars hear sounds coming from another part of the cave. Someone is walking and soon will reach them. Is it Feliday coming with food? If only. Quickly, the young lion discovered the scent of the animal approaching, and it's far from being Feliday's scent. No, it's a lion's scent. As Linus is walking through the humid and dark cave, he hears yells. Now there's no doubt. A group of cubs is hiding in this cave. Following the sound, Linus finally reached them out. When they saw the lion appearing, the 7 beggars quickly growled at him, and soon the leader of the group, Ekuba, spoke up. Who is he and what he wants? In all honesty, Linus wasn't expecting to find baby lions in a cave. Of course, he was pretty surprised. Giving them his name, he then asked them about their identity. Ikeno claims Linus doesn't need to know anything about them, but Ekuba gives out all of their information. It's how the white lion understands. They are these stolen cubs he heard about. Everybody are looking for them. The Onyx Pride is looking for Kichia. The Moonlight Pride is looking for Panya and Madini. And the Dark Flare Pride is looking for Sultan. It would be smart for Linus to take them back to their families, but it would be way too easy. Linus used to be a king back then when he was reigning on Pride Land with Inja. Now he is nothing, just a deposit king. He doesn't necessarily want to be king again. It's too many responsibilities, but he wants to be someone worthy of interest. That is how he gets an idea to create his own clan with these cubs. And once they will trust him enough, once they will follow him, he will be able to return to Pride Lands. But the hard part is now to get accepted by the cubs. Once the cubs calmer, Linus asked them why they were screaming like this. Sultan quickly spoke up, saying he was trying to tell the others they had to leave this place, but Ekuba refused to listen. Being accused, Ekuba growls. She doesn't like the fact Sultan was trying to make her look like the bad guy. She quickly retorts, saying she believes going out with no adult would be dangerous. At that, Linus smiled softly. He then agreed with both of them. Sultan is right. Staying in a cave for a long time can be risky. They could perish from the lack of food and drink. But Ekuba is also right. Going outside, the cubs would expose themselves to great danger. Since the cubs couldn't agree on that, Linus told them Sultan and Ekuba had to fight to see who the dominant was. The winner would officially be the leader of the Beggars. Looking at each other, firstly confused, Sultan then agreed. They indeed had to fight. The two cubs pounced at each other, scratching and biting each other. After a few minutes, Hecuba managed to pin and maintain the male down to the ground. She won the fight. Observing the scene the whole time, Linus congratulates the young lioness. She officially is the leader. He then looked at the other cubs and with a stern tone, he told them they now have to listen to their leader and respect her. He then offered his help, since they need adults' protection to get out and find food. He will help them. That's how. The following morning, the white lion escorted the cubs outside the cave. Mission: finding food. In the jungle, months have passed, and a few things happened since the wild came back from the War of Pride Rock. Tired, Sharp decided to retire from leading the wilds and to pass the torch to his son. So now it's Zio who leads the clan. According to Sharp, Zio proved during the war that he is ready to become a leader. He got strong and courageous, and with no doubts he will make a great chief. Once arrived in the jungle, Ruby took a few days to finally confess her feelings to Zio, and she was surprised when he confessed his feelings back. He loves her too. She believed Zio was in love with Kira this whole time, but the blonde lion shook his head. Kira is his best friend. They grew up together. She's like his sister. He would never love her in a romantic way. Never. After confessing their love to each other, the two naturally got together and were basically inseparable. Always together. According to Zio, Ruby was the best lioness he ever met, and according to Ruby, Zio was her half. Since she lost her memory, Zio has been the only lion she felt comfortable with. Zio's life was perfect. The only dark point in his perfect life was his former best friend, Ash. Indeed, Zio still didn't forgive what the Grey Lion did during the war. How Ash did betrayed his friends, his family. Talking about Ash, the cursed lion is still living in the jungle, not at the home tree like the other members of the wilds. But he was still around, not too far, just enough not to have to constantly see them. He didn't feel like living with the others who were always judging him and reminding him of his mistakes. To him, the wilds were all despicable. The only one he couldn't get rid of was Kira. Indeed, the lioness was always around him trying to help him. Even if she heard about what he did to Elvis, and if she hated him dearly for that, she couldn't help herself to stick around him. She needed to understand why he did that, why he did kill Elvis, why he did betray the wilds. But each time, the Grey Lion pushed her away. He didn't want to justify himself. He didn't want to talk about that over and over again. And anyway, it wouldn't change anything for him. He is cursed now, and he will be cursed for the rest of his life. Kira couldn't help but to feel sad for him. She didn't like to know that he was cursed. There must be a way to free him from that curse. But for now, she never found anything that would help, and the more time passed, and the more Ash was shutting himself away from everybody. Kira tried to talk with Zio about Ash's case. She tried to make him change his mind about Ash. But the leader of the wilds never changed his mind. His friendship with Ash was over the day he chose Jinx over them. So no way he would try anything to help his former best friend. He was only keeping an eye on him because of the curse. Without the curse, he would have dropped the Grey Lion in the desert and let him die there. That behavior kind of disappointed Kira, But she couldn't blame Zio too much. He was kinda right about that. Though she won't give up on him. She will do her best to save him despite what everybody tells her, including Ash himself.